Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about perpetual checks. And these are basically checks, except you just check the king over and over to get a draw. So, if you know about checks, they're basically when you put the opponent's king in danger. Perpetual check is when you're constantly checking them, you're constantly putting their king in danger. As the king moves away, you check them again. And then as the opponent's king tries to move away again, you check them again. And these checks are usually for like draws, and like you kind of don't want to use them for like checkmates. Like some people, they have the wrong idea that perpetual checks are helpful to get a checkmate, because like they feel like, oh my god, I'm so close to the king. I'm gonna checkmate him if I keep on checking him. It's not gonna work like that. So they're only good for draws if you're like down material, or if you just feel like you need a draw. So I'm gonna be talking about more about perpetual checks later. So let's get started. Okay, so this is the first position. So here, black and white, they're around the same, except black has a passed pawn. Black has an extra pawn that is quite a danger for white. And black might feel like he's in the mood for trading, because he got a passed pawn, so simplifying the position might be good for him, right? He has his pawn running on the b file, about to get a touchdown. But just before he decides to move the pawn to b6, up b3, he decides to take this knight with his knight, thinking that white will take it back immediately with his bishop. So this is a separate topic altogether. It's this German word. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it starts with a Z and a W, and it has like an IS something something something. But this is basically an in-between move. Basically, white doesn't reply with what black wants. He replies with something that black is totally not expecting. So here, black is expecting the bishop to take this knight. Well, no. White is down. White is in danger, so he might go down to e8 and check the king, because he doesn't want to deal with his pawn on b4. So he goes down to check the king. Bam! Totally unexpected. And now this is where the perpetual check comes in. Black only has one move, up to e7, h7. Sorry. And after that, white will take this knight. And again, black only has one move, g8. And then white again goes to e8, and it just keeps on repeating. A black king goes to h7, white queen goes to h5, and then back again. And so basically, they can never escape this cycle, unless it's a timed game. But usually there's something called a 3-move repetition, where the position shows up 3 times in a chess game, and then it's a draw. And so yeah, so this is basically pretty bad for black, because he just threw his opportunity right out the window, thinking white will just comply and white will lose. But now white uses perpetual check to stalemate, or not stalemate, but to force a draw on black. So now black isn't able to like get out of this cycle, and it's a draw in the end. Now the next one is pretty interesting. It kind of involves I wouldn't say a sacrifice. Well, there's 2 ways for white to go. So white moves his queen to h5, and notice that queen takes h7 is quite a problem for black, because his king will be in danger, and it's not that great. So black obviously wants to avoid this. The wrong move here that black might make is h6. Now, there's not like a checkmate in 3, but it's going to be pretty annoying when this bishop goes ahead and takes on h6, and assuming black is smart enough, he will not take back. But if black does take back, then it's kind of bad for him now, because now, well, this happens, and yeah, you only have one move, and then it's checkmate. Yeah, so that kind of sucks for black. So that's what black does not want to do. So therefore, there's only one move for black to make to defend h7, is to go to g6 with his pawn, forking the bishop and the queen. This might sound bad, but it's actually it might sound bad for white, but white probably likes this. So the white bishop just goes ahead and takes on g6. Whoa, white is down up a few, and he's gonna trade even more. Well, this is for the perpetual check. So basically, this kind of opens black's position up, because now notice here that queen takes h7 is still a threat, and it's gonna be pretty bad for black. So in order to not lose the game, he might have to go and take. Now this is what white wants. White wants to go here, check, and then black has to go here, and it's not that great for black, but white will gain an advantage. And so yeah, so basically it's just gonna be a draw. Just like the other position, black only has one move, and black just has to keep on going back and forth, and white just gets to draw. Notice how this move doesn't work. It will not really work, because this just happens, and so yeah, basically, white cannot really checkmate black. It's more just only a perpetual check. White can't take this pawn and checkmate because there's a bishop protecting that pawn. So white's only option here was perpetual check and a draw. Now this last position is from a Grandmaster game, a US championship game, and it's a pretty surprising way to kind of throw your win out the window. So here, obviously, both players, they were Grandmasters. And basically, as you can tell, white is in a pretty bad position. White is down a whole piece, and it's not that great. His king is like getting attacked by many pieces. Like the black queen and the black knight and the black rook, they're all targeting the white king. And yeah, so like if the queen somehow manages to get to like g2, it's gonna be pretty bad. Notice how that g2 square is pretty secured by black. And white can't really win. Yes, his two mobile pieces are kind of looking at the black king, but he won't get there in time. Like before white gets checkmated. So, what is the biggest blunder in this game? other than like losing a piece directly. So what Black did by throwing his win out the window was taking this pawn. Now that might not like sound that bad, because now queen to g2 is checkmate, or like other moves like rook e1, that's pretty bad as well. So white is like this close to getting checkmated, but it's a blunder. Black blundered by doing that. How? Well, going back with this whole topic of perpetual check, this is what white did. So white went to I forgot if it was So this is how white responded, because he knew immediately, okay, this is a blunder. So white went to g8, queen g8. Bam. Throwing his queen out, just like sacrificing that queen just to win, just to draw the game. So this is when the draw was accepted, because now, okay, so Black's king could move away, but white will just keep on attacking the black king thereafter. So black, if he takes the queen, notice how that queen was one of two of white's mobile pieces. Because when black's queen took on g3, the white king was stalemated. Like, it couldn't move. The white king cannot move. Only the queen and the rook could have moved. Now, by taking away both of white's mobile pieces, the queen and the rook, it would have been a stalemate. So this is exactly what white is trying to do. He's taking away his mobile pieces, just throwing them off the board, so it could be a stalemate, because he has no chance of winning. So afterwards, white went to take, rook takes g7, and notice how in either case, whether it's the king taking or the queen taking, it would have been stalemate for white. King takes, and white doesn't have anywhere to go. His pawns cannot move forward, they can't take anything, and the king can't move anywhere at all. So by using perpetual check, white kind of like, he drew the king closer and closer, the black king closer and closer. So then the perpetual check basically was like the queen checking the king with queen g8. That checked the king, and kind of forced the king to take. And then rook takes g7. That again forced the king to take. And so perpetual check, keep in mind, it's not only for like a distant check. It's not like a piece is here and a piece is there and it's like checking the king. Like perpetual check could be in this case where like kind of sacrifice, but also kind of check at the same time. So it's basically just a repetitive check. So this is how that Grandmaster game kind of ended. So that will be about it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot about perpetual checks. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe, and click that notifications bell to see more chess videos.